Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Calypso Cigar Review Podcast.
Minisode.
And I'm Brandon Luna.
I'm Randy Rankin.
And as always, we're at the lovely Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's a place in Dallas somewhere.
Yeah, it's north of Dallas.
I'd say it's a suburb
It's the city that is on this new show that Pedro was telling me about.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Extract and Exhale? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, the one with Halle Berry.
Oh, is she in it?
Yeah, it's the Steven Spielberg thing. I haven't watched it at all, but
he says it's great and it takes place in Richardson because it's about right when the telecom corridor was starting.
Maybe that's not it. This is like a space thing.
No, this is on AMC.
Okay, never mind. Forget it. X that. Don't listen to me.
When Pedro comes back in here, I will ask him what the name of the show is. It's got a weird name.
So today we are smoking the Kuuts Miro, and this is a small cigar. It's a
Memento.
4x48. The origin of this one, since we don't have Cigar D8, I'll do that, is Honduras. Comes out of the factory of Campaña Hondureña. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to mess it up and then he'll get mad at me. We'll skip that. Wrapper, Ecuadorian Sumatra, binder Nicaraguan, filler Honduras and Nicaragua.
Kind of a Heinz 57 of cigars.
Yep.
Hey, Pedro, what's the name of that show?
Sorry?
The show that takes place in Richardson?
Halt and Catch Fire.
Halt and Catch Fire. I was not even close.
That is a weird name. So we'll be cutting today with
our Monte Cristo cigar scissor donated to us by Altadis USA and the great Eddie Gavito.
who you can visit with
On September 3rd from 5 to 8 at the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas. We do like for you to RSVP, so if you go to the website, some website, I can't remember. Actually, if you call 972-761-9903, if you're not on our mailing list, I'll let you RSVP over the phone.
We Are Prepared.
I forget because he changed it. I don't remember now.
Okay. Give it a little cut there and let me know what you think.
No, I'm going to do the pre-cut retro hail. Nothing.
Nope. I do have an opinion, though. See if you get something on this that I get here. It's a little barnyardy,
Maybe.
and I'm getting a little anise, which I don't get often.
I'm
But I
getting
cooked with it recently.
I'm getting
so
a nephew.
I cooked with anise recently, so I remember the smell and the flavor of it, and that's what I'm getting
So
on
kind
the
of
cold.
like licorice taste.
Yeah, slightly. It's a nice looking stick. Most of it's band. You can't really see the cigar too much.
Because I'll forget about it. And
It's got a huge band, and it's a small smoke, so you're probably going to want to deband that before you start. I don't know what the... some people say, you want
let
to...
it warm up.
Yeah, some people say take it off. Don't look like a douche leaving your band on. Just take it off. It's all personal preference, really.
I take mine off all the time.
I leave mine on until I have to take it off. Personal preference, people. Personal preference.
Well, I had a logical reason for doing it.
Well, yeah, yours is because, the other person leaves it on, so you want to distinguish yours from the other person. So.
Yeah, because Matt would grab my cigar and I'd pick it up because Matt wet lips a lot more than I do. And I'd pick it up and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I get that. So first couple draws.
You leaving? Yeah. Oh, take care, Pedro.
See you guys.
Drive safe, bud.
Where's my Cuban? So first couple draws,
I'm going to get that one.
spicy, a little earthy.
Yeah, a little earthy, spicy.
Yep. A little musty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's kind of Cuban-esque a little bit.
The mustiness maybe, like an
Yeah.
old Cuban. It tastes like aged tobacco. When you get a musty cigar, it always makes you think that it's a extremely aged tobacco. I don't know if it is. I don't know how long this sucker's been aging or whatever, but it definitely has an aged tobacco
It's
flavor.
not starting off real strong.
Could be the Honduras. Honduras, I get that a lot with the Honduras stuff sometimes. So it just depends.
Maybe so.
Mm.
What have you been up to?
Oh, smoking cigars, man.
Hmm.
And a lot of work.
Yeah.
You?
Same. Same old, same old.
This is super interesting so far.
Yes, it's
It's interesting. It's definitely different than a lot of stuff I've smoked recently. I think I kind of bury myself in the Nicaraguans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to get a cigar from someplace else. Oh, you didn't have to do that, man. I was just messing with you.
That's a Robina.
Ah.
Nice.
Yeah, I have, yeah. Thank you, sir. You
Take
didn't
care,
have to do
Pedro.
that, but thank you. Pedro Haley. The
Yeah.
man, the myth.
I got a little petite. You got a freaking torpedo.
Well, that's how I roll.
I guess so. you watched more of a slideshow than I did.
Well, also I give him cigars. I give him a lot. So
Pedro just got back from Europe and he was showing his pictures.
yeah, he spent 5 weeks
So jealous.
in Europe.
So
5
jealous.
weeks.
Very envious of that. I'd like to do that.
I would love to do that too. I just don't want to do it with kids. When they're if I had them both at the age of 15 by now, then yeah, I'd probably
Yeah.
do that. But 15
Well,
and
your
a 6-year-old,
15-year-old would love it.
She would, yeah.
get into it.
She would love
get
it.
Your 5-year-old would not so much.
No, she wouldn't want to walk anywhere. Yeah, she could barely walk. She barely wanted to walk anywhere in Disney, and that was Disney,
Yeah.
where she gets to see cool stuff and princesses, and
Right.
this would be walking for walking's sake. Look at that old picture in that old building. Make with the gelato. That'd be her whole thing.
Yeah. Get more gelato.
So yeah, if you are if you're smoking one country, you're missing out on some stuff. So definitely venture out to the Honduras and the Dominicans. Broaden your horizons. I know Nicaraguans are very popular right now. The San Andres is very popular. Americans, we like the strong stuff, so I think that's why we lean towards those. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of good smokes out there.
There's some strong sticks from Honduras.
Mhm.
A lot of Alec Bradley sticks are Honduran.
Yep. True story. So definitely unique so far.
Now, I'm not holding my breath. But
Okay.
supposedly Phil Canby will be on our next episode.
Oh, yeah?
The rep from Alec Bradley.
Mm.
I say I'm not holding my breath because he's canceled on us a couple of times
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
But he was a good guest the one time we had him, so I'd like to have him on again.
If not next episode, then maybe next time he's in town. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
He's out of Houston, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may just do an episode with him if I go to Houston to visit family or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Do a mini with him or something.
Yeah,
Who
that'd
knows?
be cool. He's engaged.
Since that's his territory. I know.
I know.
I
To
know.
A legend.
I know.
A cigar legend.
Hmm.
At least, especially here in Texas.
Yes, for sure. And they just stopped doing their line, actually. They're not doing their in-house line anymore.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Because they were pretty good from what I
Yeah.
understand, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple when I went to the event, and they were
I
tasty.
had a couple when I was in San Antonio one time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't say names, but people can figure out pretty quick.
Yeah, if you're in the area, Texas area, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And it's on his Facebook page. So.
All over the place, yeah.
So anyway.
So that's private information. You can get
Mhm.
whatever. But yeah, so far tasty. It's I'd say it's medium
Mhm.
body, full flavor though. It's got a lot
of flavor.
Right after the first third a little kind of muted, but man, after you get past that initial like one, I guess a fourth of the first third,
Yeah.
yeah, it kicks in. There's some flavors
Yeah.
there.
And it is a little stronger than I was
Spice
expecting.
just kicked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
The spice kicked up. It wasn't there. Ooh, that was interesting. Hold on. That anise is back for me. And the slight licorice.
I'm not getting any of that.
Oh, one after there. Interesting.
Yeah, so far, so good.
Yeah, I hadn't used anise to cook anything, and I just made some homemade pho or pho, whatever you want to call it, Vietnamese soup. And you put some weird stuff in that thing, man.
Mhm.
Like the little bag with all the spices in it. She put like cilantro and which is not a big deal, but mint. What do you call it? Cinnamon sticks,
Mhm.
anise. There's a couple other spices that are clove, and a couple other things, peppercorns and stuff like that. And you just let it that beef broth steep in that stuff for like 5 hours.
Hmm.
So tasty.
Was it?
So
I'm not a big
tasty.
fan of pho.
I dig it. I like a good broth, and that's a damn good broth. I
Nice.
had those moose knuckles in it. Not moose knuckles. Moose knuckles. Beef knuckles. It's like a
okay.
beef. You put beef knuckles in it, and you put oxtail,
Okay.
or osambuca, whatever you call it that. And that's just a fatty meat that really kind of goes into that beefy flavor, and you get that marrow in there, and that stuff just gets better as it stays in the fridge.
Does it?
Yeah, very, very
Like
tasty.
Italian food?
Yeah, like Italian food,
Well,
similar to that. Not,
Marinara-based
exactly
Italian
how
food.
it just
Alfredo does
couple
not
days,
save well.
No, but a couple days in the fridge with some good homemade sauce, and man, it gets good.
Oh, when I make lasagna, I make like 3 pans and freeze it. Cut it into squares, freeze it, and it's better 4 months later than it was.
Oh, and I
when
tried that
was-
thing. There was a thing I saw on the internet, because that's where we learn everything nowadays, that said don't. It said to when you freeze steaks, if you have steaks that you freeze, don't let them thaw and cook them frozen.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I had never done that before, and I did it this week because we bought a 4-pack of steaks and we only made 3, and I had one that I froze.
Yeah, 'cause it keeps the blood in it.
Yeah.
Supposed to.
So I froze it and I cooked it, and dude, it was awesome. It
Well,
cooked in the same amount of time.
Yeah, I don't
and
freeze steaks, but I have heard that.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It was very, very good.
Cooked in the same amount of time?
Cooked it the same amount of time. I just, super, super hot pan, did it on the skillet, and it came out fantastic.
Skillet steak.
Yep, skillet steak is awesome. Love to grill it, but for the time,
Too freaking hot, too.
yeah, it's too hot, and also it's you can skillet steak it perfect medium rare every time, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Well, you can. I've done them in the oven before, too.
Mhm.
They work out fine that way.
Well, skillet steak is it's half skillet, half oven. It's 30 seconds. You put the skillet in the oven and let it get like crazy hot. I'll leave it there for like 20 minutes on broil, like 525. Take it out, put it on the burner, high heat for like 5 minutes, and then you just basically put the steak on it, 30 seconds aside, just to char it. Then it goes in the oven for 2 minutes aside, perfect medium rare every time.
Nice.
1 minute aside, medium, or it's rare.
Yeah.
So if you want just like a real cool center, so good.
Nice.
And then you just wrap it up in foil and let it sit in there for like a couple minutes, and it's so damn good. So good. Alton Brown recipe.
Got a really good burn.
Yeah, the ash is great. So it is a mini, so we're going to take a break, and we'll come back for the second, third. But right now,
So far, so good.
So far,
Thumbs
so
up.
good, man. Yeah, tasty stuff. I'm digging it. We'll be back. All right, we're back for the second, third of the Miro in the memento size.
Yes.
And
By Kuuts.
by Kuuts, yeah. Tasty little
Very
bugger.
good.
Yeah,
It's not overly complex by any means, but man, is it good.
it's kicked up in the flavor. Yeah, the second, third, at the end of the first third, the beginning of the second third, the flavor profile really gets in your face. It's definitely more medium at this point. And
it seems like it tastes the same. It's just stronger.
yeah,
If that makes any sense.
It's moving up a level. It's moving from like
ash
a
is great. The burn is almost razor. Almost said laser burn. But I'm going to ash because I see it starting to crack.
mine. I put my cigar down, the ash dropped, but
But it was a strong ash. I had to
Yeah.
actually roll it hard to get that off.
tasty cigar.
Good thing Nate wasn't here for that one. Had to roll it hard to get it off.
Yeah,
Nate would have jumped all over that.
yes, he would have.
Oh,
He is a
man.
perv. Not like we aren't, but
Yeah.
oh, I didn't get a beer. I should have got. Is there more beer?
Yeah, go get you a beer. I'll
Damn
carry
it.
the show.
Okay,
I'll carry the
I'll
show.
get it on this last third.
Okay.
That's fine. You'll carry it.
I can carry the show.
I
I,
know,
carried
but-
it anyway. No, I'm joking.
Dick.
Anyway. So,
So we were talking about something off mic, but we want to mention it.
yeah. Okay. What
Go.
was it?
I don't remember. What was it?
Liver. Oh, I remember.
Okay,
we're,
so we
we're talking about.
steak stories and
Okay.
foods that we don't like. And
See, my dad didn't like chicken.
Okay.
So anytime my mom made chicken, she would make him a steak, and it kind of pissed us all off. Like, why can't we get a steak? And his story was he had an uncle that had a farm, and he had to kill chickens. You know, he had to go through the whole process, so it just ruined him on chicken.
yeah,
But anyway, so yeah,
I have a similar story.
Okay,
And
go
this
ahead.
is not from me, but this is my wife's story. But I thought it was funny anyway, and I mentioned it. I'll tell it to you guys. Basically, the story was my wife's father liked liver and onions, and this is a family of like 6 girls, and nobody else liked liver and onions. So
Right.
he'd ask his wife constantly, "I want liver and onions. I want liver and onions." Never make liver and onions. Fine, I'll make you liver and onions. So she served liver and onions. He's like, "Yes." He starts eating his liver onions. Everybody else got a steak, and he was like, "What?"
bit him
So-
in the butt.
Big time. In your face, liver and onions.
Well, my grandmother, the same one that from the previous episode that smacked into the slide. I thought that was a lit cigar. I was like, what the fuck? Who smacked into the sliding glass door? Same grandmother. She was babysitting me. I was like 4 or 5. I don't remember. And it looked like she was eating a steak. And so I'm like, I want to bite a steak. And she's like, it's not steak. That's steak. No, it's not. It's not steak. Well, can I have a bite? No, you're not going to like this. And I'm like, oh, please, come on over. You're not going to like it. So she cuts me off a bite, and it was liver. Puts it in my mouth. I'm like,
Did you swallow it?
oh, that was the rule. I had to swallow it. So I'm like, oh God, oh God. Oh, I thought I was going to die.
So my dad liked liver and onions. It's kind of the same, situation. Nobody else liked it. My dad was the kind of guy, though, that if he served it, you ate it. So I had to eat it. And I got about halfway through it, and I was choking it down. I didn't want it. My mom's like, let him eat something else. She's like, no, he's going to finish it. I didn't want to finish. She's like, okay, fine, you're going to go to bed hungry. So I went to bed hungry. Go to school the next day. I'm opening my lunch bag. What do I have? liver and onion sandwich
For your lunch.
for my lunch. Gray, I kid you not, gray mushy sandwich with ketchup on it.
Ketchup on, well, I mean, A1 wouldn't even make.
I was
liver
trying
tasty.
my heart out to trade that with anybody that day.
It's like, see ya.
I just ate my fruit cup and called it even. That was it, whatever I had in my lunch. My thermos of Kool-Aid, and that was it. I got hosed on that deal.
He got you though.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. When he gets old and he's in a home, I'm going to serve his ass liver and onions. He's going to eat it.
Well, he likes it though.
Yeah. Well, okay, that won't really work, but something. I'll give him kidney or some shit. I don't know. Some other nasty. Do you like any of those? Any of those foods?
Weird stuff. No.
Like the heart, the kidney,
No.
like the giblets or whatever. When you
No.
get into the Thanksgiving stuff.
No. My mom liked the giblets. She liked liver.
My mom would cut that stuff up and put it in the
gravy.
Not the gravy. Well, the gravy and also the stuffing.
Stuffing. Yeah.
And I didn't really notice it in the stuffing, you know, but
Right.
on its own,
Well, my mom liked the fried liver. You know, with the breaded. It looks like okra. Only it's
yeah.
liver.
I love okra.
And I've never really had it. I don't think.
Yeah,
It just didn't
fried
look
okra's
appealing to me.
awesome. Yeah.
But I thought it was a chicken nugget. I didn't know what it was, and I did it to myself. But I
Got
didn't
you
have-
again.
I didn't
Got
have
you
to.
again.
I didn't have the rule, and I had to swallow that one. I was like,
Yeah, for those of you that like liver, that's fine. That's great. You
It's
can
all
like
matter
it.
of taste. It's just
Yeah, it'll never be served in my house. I'm not going to, submit my daughters to that, and they can get it on their own if they like it later. That's fine. But
Well,
I wouldn't even begin to know how to cook it because I don't eat it.
All right, and you know how we have like 20 channels on this TV. It's horrible. So I find myself getting stuck watching stuff I wouldn't normally watch. So I watch Man vs. Food, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But he's eating normal stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
just a
Bizarre,
lot of it.
Bizarre Foods comes on right after it, and I've got 10 minutes into one. I went, I'm not watching that. I mean, he's eating eyeballs and monkey ass, and it's just like,
he eats
gross.
nasty stuff,
Oh,
bugs
it's
and
disgusting.
yeah.
Live bugs.
Yep.
You know? Ugh.
I saw one where he's eating like lizard on a stick and stuff. I'm like, ah.
I mean, I'll go somewhat.
He had one. I saw him one time because we watch the show every once in a while, but I saw one thing that he would not eat. And it was in like Norway or something. And they had like shark that they had put in this house. It was like shark hanging from meat hooks. And it would sit in this cold weather for like years. And it was like considered a delicacy. They would just slice it off and serve it up and eat it. And he was like, he trekked. He's like, I gotta try this. I've heard so much about it. He got one bite and he was like, no. He like almost threw up. It was the only time I've ever seen him almost throw up.
Right.
And I've seen him eat like blood bags
know,
and
it's
stuff,
like
and it was just like,
gross.
no,
I mean,
nasty.
the most adventurous I'll go is I might have venison every now and then. You know?
I like venison.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I've had octopus and stuff like that, and sushi and whatever else, and calamari,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
fine. But
Like calamari I can do, but I'm not
even
big on
some crabs gross me out, like the soft shell stuff. That's like,
Yeah,
not
I
real
can
big
eat
on
that, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I guess the ones that look like roaches or whatever, those.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
big
it's
on
just
those.
kind of mushy.
Yeah, those are nasty. I had those in Baltimore, and I was like, it's got to be good here. No, still didn't like it. But everything else was delicious there. Yeah.
No,
So-
so to Maryland.
This is
It's a good
nice.
stick, yeah.
I'm getting some leather now, and it's got a good earthiness to it. It's kind of a minerally earth thing going on that you get with Honduras sometimes. So
It's got great waftage.
Mhm.
Nice.
that's darn
nice
tasty.
cigar.
Good little smoke. You're talking about probably 30, 40 minutes with this because it's so small. Take your time with it. You'll
Only
get some good
$5.50,
flavors.
you say?
Yeah,
That's a good
$5.50.
Yeah.
So good smoke for that price. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a mini. So we're going to take another break. We'll come back for the last third of the Miro. All right. So we're back for the last third of the Miro in the Memento size
By Kuuts.
by Kuuts.
And it's
Kuuts. There's like a little Aztec dude smoking a cigar or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool
This,
looking little logo.
Yeah. This is a tasty little bomb.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a flavor bomb.
Yeah.
And the band's cool too. It's got some gold on it with a nice. You can read the logo, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some cigar companies put too much into their band. You can't even read the damn thing. Nice, easy to see.
Yeah. Very classic.
Yep.
Not bad.
And a darn tasty stick. So yeah, thanks.
So I don't think I smoked this before.
Mm.
He must have left me the other one because I had the Placeres and the other one, which I thought was this because this is what Matt bought.
Mm.
But I guess Matt was the one that got this one and liked it enough to buy it.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Not bad.
Excelente. So they do carry them here at the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge.
Yes, we do.
And if someone said, hey, I want to try that and I'd like to smoke some, how would they do that, Randy?
They could call 972-761-9903.
They'll hook you up.
And we're getting I know we said this before, we are getting closer. Matt has hired someone to load the database onto the website. So you will be able to order on the website somewhat soon.
Cool.
Yes.
That'll be nice.
Yes, it will. So
anything else tickling your fancy lately? Any new music or shows you're watching or anything like that?
no, not really.
No?
Mostly watching stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I started that Robin Williams movie and finished it. World's Greatest Dad.
Yeah. Directed and written by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah. And very dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You seen or watched anything?
Yeah. I mean, we caught up on a lot of the Robin Williams stuff, mostly the kids' movies because I got, kids. So we watched Flubber and RV and...
Oh, God, RV was horrible.
It was bad, yeah. But the kids liked it, so that's fine.
My mom and stepdad...
had JoJo in it.
My mom and stepdad called. They loved that movie so much. They were like, you guys got to rent it. You got to rent it. Okay. So I put it on my Netflix, and sure enough, got it in the mail the next day.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I are about 20 minutes into it. I'm like, do we have to finish this? I go, I haven't laughed one time since me either.
Yeah. They're not all winners. The one we haven't watched yet that I've been wanting to watch is Good Morning Vietnam. We still need to watch that.
Yeah, you can get back to that one.
So that's the only one. But we've watched a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What Dreams May Come also I want to see again. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
And I've got that on DVD.
You know, when I got to thinking, we were talking about the irony with the suicide and
Yeah.
Poet Society and World's Greatest Dad.
Yeah.
Remember the reason why the wife went to hell was because she committed suicide.
Yep.
Forgot about that. It's written by Richard Matheson, who is one of my favorite writers. I haven't read all his stuff. He wrote Somewhere in Time, but it wasn't called Somewhere in Time.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Bid Time Return. And
Didn't he do I Am Legend?
He might have.
Yeah, I think so.
He did What Dreams May Come. He's written a bunch of westerns that are really good too.
Oh yeah.
Western books. I don't know if any of them got made into movies. But in Bid Time Return, in Somewhere in Time, he time travels back.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, you find out at the end he was dying all along, and this was all in his mind.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Much darker.
Wow.
So, and he wrote a book called, I can't remember, it was Western, and this guy gets challenged to a gunfight. He's a legendary gunfighter. He gets challenged, and he keeps trying by a kid, a young guy, and he keeps trying to talk the kid out of it. It's like, no, and it ends basically where he goes out to meet the kid, knowing he's gonna be able to talk him out of it. And the kid shoots him and he dies.
Oh.
Fuck, that blew up in his face.
Yep. So he did write I Am Legend,
Mm-hmm.
The Shrinking Man, and Bid Time Returns are his three notable works. He also wrote What Dreams May Come and Stir of Echoes. So.
Oh, he did write Stir of Echoes.
Yep.
I remember that now.
So he's got some stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So check out Richard Matheson if you haven't read. I Am Legend is a great book. I read that thing like 4 times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
great book. Neither of the movies do the book justice. So
Right.
read the book.
And I did run Bid Time Return for everybody, but that book's been out for 30-something years.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great movie. If you like
I like
Christopher
that
Reeve, great romantic movie, and
Jane
has that
Seymour looked
time.
great.
Yeah, Jane Seymour. Oh, hot,
So pretty.
so hot.
Yeah.
And it's a beautifully shot movie.
And the
really
soundtrack
beautiful
is
movie.
incredible.
Yeah, great soundtrack. It's one of those soundtracks that sticks in your head. And
Yeah.
You're like humming it, and you're like, shit.
And I can just hear it.
Yeah.
And you see the scene.
I'm hearing it in my head right now.
And you see the scene in the movie, the one that played. It's really good. And yes, it's a love story, but it's a very well done love story.
Guys, you want to impress the chicas if they haven't seen it?
That's a great.
Put that one on.
Yeah. My ex-wife, when we were just dating, when we just started dating, and we just never were getting to spend enough time together. And this is right when that song "Time" by Hootie and the Blowfish was out, and she was like, "Man, this is kind of our song because we don't, time's killing us. We don't have enough time to spend together." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Speaking of time, have you ever seen Somewhere in Time?" She goes, "No." And I told her what it was. I'm like, "Come over Friday. I had a good night." And so her birthday was like the next week. So I bought her the soundtrack and had another good night. So we popped that on, opened some wine, had a really good night. So that movie's responsible twice in that weekend. That was pretty good.
You could have bought her the book. Maybe another good night.
I did that later. A fan wrote a sequel
Oh,
to
yeah?
the movie.
Oh,
a book
really?
Sequel to
Okay.
the movie, where because you know the old lady,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, Jane Seymour's character gets old,
Yeah.
and he's up, you know, she goes back to find him, and it's what happens after she finds him. And
Oh, okay.
It was fun. It was a little tiny pamphlet-like size book,
Yeah.
and she was all like, "Oh, that's so sweet! You got that book." Another good night. There you go, bud.
All right. And he bought her I Am Legend. Nothing.
Nothing. But yeah, watch What Dreams May Come. It's visually stunning, but it's kind of hard to watch. It's heavy on the eyes.
Yeah,
in
it
a
is.
lot of areas. But it's just a great story.
It is, yeah. And bittersweet now. So,
Yeah.
but it's still a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that kind of got slammed by the critics, but it had a cult following afterwards. So
Yeah.
definitely worth a watch.
Yep. So you're gonna watch that one again?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it soon. Yeah, Sydney hasn't seen it. She wants to see it, so
Okay.
that'll be good to show her.
Yeah, she's old enough now she can.
Yeah, she'll get it.
grasp it. Yeah.
Yep. Zoe would be like, what? She wouldn't get it at all. But she did like Flubber, and she liked, of course, Aladdin. You know, we watched Aladdin twice now since
Oh God.
that one gets old. But I mean, still a fun movie. But yeah,
My youngest brother. I mean, I'll rewatch stuff. I have no problem with that. But my brother will watch the same thing 3 weeks in a row. I mean, he watched Shaun of the Dead 18 times the first week.
Oh, wow.
That he found out about it. Yeah. He'll just rewatch over and over.
yeah.
And so I almost beat the crap out of him over Aladdin.
Sometimes it's. I mean, I can see doing that because some movies you miss a lot of stuff, and you know, the more you see it, the more you pick up. Especially movies like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, where there's so many in jokes.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter had seen Hot Fuzz
They
without
don't tell
any
racial jokes.
Huh?
Never
No.
mind.
So many in jokes.
Oh.
But my
You're
daughter had
using a
seen Hot
naughty
Fuzz
word.
before she knew any of the movies they were referencing, like Bad Boys and Lethal Weapon and all this stuff. So started showing her those movies, and now she's like, oh, okay. So, you know.
And I apologize for that. I was quoting something from the radio station I listened to, and it didn't work, and that was stupid.
That's okay. I don't listen to that
They don't always work.
But you got to throw them out there and try.
Yeah.
So, Tasty Smoke. I'm going to nub this sucker. Yeah, we got about 35 minutes out of it, and it's tasty. So, as always, check us out. Doing great. Check us out at all the normal places you can find us.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podomatic,
There you
Podcast
go.
Land.
We're doing great.
We
YouTube.
rock. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
And Facebook, Calypso Cigar Review, and like us on that. We post the episodes there if you're a Facebookie.
Comment or
Booker.
tweet or follow, and you'll get shout-outs on full episodes.
Yes, sir. So, as always, it's been great smoking with you.
See you later, Brandon.
See you later, Randy.